There is a story hidden inside every tarot deck. Most people never find it. They learn the cards one by one, memorizing meanings in isolation, never realizing that all 22 of the major arcana cards are connected, that they tell a single, continuous story. The story of a human life, from the very first step into the unknown, all the way to complete wisdom. That story is called the Fool's Journey. And once you understand it, the major arcana will never feel like 22 separate cards again. They will feel like chapters in a book you've been living your whole life. This is that story. Our story begins at the edge of a cliff. A young person stands at the precipice, a small bundle over their shoulder, a white rose in their hand, and a little dog barking at their heels. They are about to step off into open air. They are not looking down. They are looking up at the sky, at the horizon, at the infinite possibility of what lies ahead. This is the Fool, card 0, the beginning of everything. The Fool is not stupid, despite the name. The Fool is pure potential, unburdened by experience, by failure, by the weight of knowing how hard things can get. The Fool steps forward because they do not yet know enough to be afraid. And that innocence, that willingness to begin without a guarantee, is the bravest thing in the world. Every one of us is the Fool at the start of something new, a new relationship, a new career, a new chapter of life. We stand at the edge with our small bundle of what we know, and we step forward anyway. The journey begins. The first person the Fool meets is the Magician. He stands at a table laid with 4 tools: a cup, a wand, a sword, a pentacle. One hand points to the sky, the other to the earth. Above his head is the infinity symbol. He is the bridge between potential and action, between the divine and the material world. The Magician teaches the Fool the first great lesson. You have everything you need. The tools are already in front of you. The only question is whether you have the will to use them. Potential means nothing without action. The gap between dreaming and doing is bridged by will. But the Magician only shows one side of reality. So the Fool moves on and encounters the High Priestess. She sits in silence between 2 pillars, a veil behind her, a crescent moon at her feet, a scroll in her hands. Where the Magician was active and outward, the High Priestess is still and inward. She does not speak. She simply holds the knowledge and waits. She teaches the Fool the lesson of intuition. Not everything can be known through action and logic. Some knowledge lives beneath the surface, in the quiet, in the space between words. The High Priestess teaches the Fool to listen to what cannot be heard and to trust what cannot yet be explained. Next, the Fool meets the Empress. She sits in a lush field, surrounded by wheat and trees and flowing water. She is abundant, nurturing, deeply connected to the natural world. She represents growth, creativity, the body, the senses, and the pleasure of being alive. The Empress teaches the Fool to be present in the physical world, to appreciate beauty, to create, to nurture both themselves and others. The Fool, who began as pure spirit and potential, is learning what it means to be fully alive. But then the Fool encounters the Emperor. He sits on a stone throne, armored, holding a scepter, unmovable. Where the Empress was soft and flowing, the Emperor is firm and structured. He represents authority, order, and the discipline that makes lasting things possible. The Emperor teaches the Fool that freedom without structure collapses, that to build anything meaningful, whether a life, a relationship, or a career, requires boundaries and commitment. Constraints are not the enemy of freedom. They are what make meaningful action possible. The world of external authority is now familiar to the Fool. But what about the authority of tradition and belief? The Fool meets the Hierophant. The Hierophant sits in formal robes between 2 pillars, 2 followers kneeling before him. He is the keeper of institutions, of inherited wisdom, of the collective knowledge that has been passed down through generations. He offers the Fool a framework. What the Fool does with it is entirely their own choice. And now the Fool faces something far more personal. The Lovers. 2 figures stand beneath an angel, a choice hanging in the air between them. This card is not simply about romantic love, though it includes that. It is about the first great fork in the road, the moment the Fool must choose who they want to be and what kind of life they want to live. Real connection requires vulnerability. Every meaningful commitment is an act of love, whether it is a person, a vocation, or a set of values. The Fool has chosen, and now they must move with purpose. Enter the Chariot. The charioteer stands in a vehicle pulled by two sphinxes, one black and one white. They are not holding reins. They are controlling the sphinxes through pure will and focus. The chariot teaches the fool about determination and the discipline required to move toward a goal when everything around you is pulling in different directions. This is ambition in action, willpower made visible. The fool is moving fast now, confident, perhaps overconfident, and that is when they encounter strength. A woman gently closes the mouth of a lion. There is no force, no struggle, no fear on her face. She is completely calm. Strength teaches the fool that the greatest power is not force but inner courage, the ability to face fear, to face the wildness within yourself with patience and gentleness rather than suppression. True strength is not the absence of the lion. It is the ability to be present with it without flinching. But all this outward movement, all this striving and achieving, eventually leads the fool to a moment of necessary stillness. They find the hermit. An old man stands alone on a mountaintop, holding a lantern in the darkness. He has climbed far from the noise of the world. He is not lost. He is searching inward. The hermit teaches the fool the lesson of solitude and self-reflection, that there are questions only you can answer, and you can only hear those answers in silence. The fool pauses, steps back from the world, looks inward for the first time with true depth. But just as the fool begins to feel settled, the wheel of fortune turns. A great wheel spins in the sky, creatures rising and falling on its rim. This is the reminder that life moves in cycles, that nothing stays the same, that the highs and lows, the gains and losses, are all part of a larger pattern beyond any individual's control. The wise response is not to resist the wheel, but to move with it, to find the stillness at the center, even as everything around you spins. Now the fool must face consequences. They meet justice. A figure sits between two pillars, a sword in one hand, scales in the other. The eyes are clear and direct. Justice teaches the fool about cause and effect, about the truth that every action has consequences, that integrity matters, and that the life you are living is in many ways a reflection of the choices you have made. The scales show the fool exactly where they stand. And then something unexpected happens. The fool is stopped by the hanged man. A figure hangs upside down from a tree, suspended by one foot, completely still, and yet their face is peaceful. The hanged man teaches the fool the hardest lesson so far. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing. To surrender control, to let go of the way you have always seen things and allow a completely new perspective to emerge. The wisdom that comes from the hanged man cannot be forced or rushed. It arrives only in the surrender, and then, after everything, the fool meets death, the skeleton on the white horse. You already know this one. Transformation. The ending that makes new beginnings possible. The fool has lived enough now to understand that not all endings are losses. Some endings are the most necessary and beautiful things that can happen. The fool releases what no longer serves them and steps forward, lighter, into what comes next. What comes next is temperance. An angel stands with one foot on land and one in water, pouring liquid between two cups in a perfect, unbroken stream. After the intensity of death, temperance offers the fool a moment of healing and recalibration. Balance, integration, patience. The flowing stream between the two cups is the image of a life lived with grace. But the fool is not finished with their shadows. Next comes the devil. Two figures stand chained to a plinth below a horned creature with bat wings. But look closely at the chains. They are loose. The figures could remove them at any moment. They stay not because they are trapped, but because they have forgotten they are free. The devil shows the fool their own shadow. The addictions, the fears, the patterns they stay in long past the point of choice. Liberation is not given. It is taken, the moment the fool decides to reach up and remove the chain. And just when the fool thinks they understand the shape of their life, the tower strikes. Lightning hits. The crown at the top is blown off. Two figures fall from the windows into the darkness below. Everything built on a false foundation is destroyed in an instant. Shocking, disorienting, painful, and completely necessary, because what the lightning destroys was never real to begin with. The tower clears the ground for what is true. After the destruction, the fool looks up and sees the star. A figure kneels by a pool of water under a vast star-filled sky. This is the card of hope. of renewal, of the quiet certainty that morning follows every night. The Fool has been through enough now to know that healing is real, that the stars are always there even when clouds cover them, and that after every collapse, something truer can be built. But before the light fully arrives, the Fool must pass through the moon. Everything is unclear, shifting, uncertain. A lobster emerges from the depths. Wolves howl. The path runs between two towers into the unknown. The moon is the card of illusion and the unconscious. The Fool must walk this path without certainty, trusting their instincts, moving forward even when nothing is clear. This is the final test of the inner journey. The willingness to walk through the unknown without a map. And then the sun rises. A child rides a white horse through a sunflower field, arms spread wide, face turned up to the light. Pure joy, pure clarity, pure life. After all the struggle, after all the shadow and the darkness and the uncertainty, the light is real. The Fool who began the journey as a child at the edge of a cliff has become the child again. But now the innocence is not ignorance. It is wisdom that has passed through everything and come back to joy. Now comes judgment. Figures rise from coffins as an angel blows a trumpet above them. This is the moment of awakening, of hearing the call that has always been there beneath the noise of life and finally answering it. The trumpet is not a summons to be judged by someone else. It is the sound of the Fool recognizing themselves completely for the first time. And finally, the world. A figure dances inside a wreath of laurel surrounded by four creatures at the corners. The dance is effortless. The expression is one of complete fulfillment. This is the end of the journey, the integration of everything, the wholeness that comes from having lived fully, loved deeply, suffered honestly, and grown completely. And here is the most beautiful truth of the Fool's journey. It never truly ends. Because when the Fool reaches the world, they become whole. And wholeness eventually generates a new kind of innocence, a new willingness to begin, a new cliff to stand at, a new horizon to walk toward. The Fool steps off the edge again, and the journey begins once more. That is the story hidden inside your tarot deck. Every time you pull a Major Arcana card in a reading, you are not just receiving a meaning, you are receiving a chapter, a reminder of where you are on your own journey, which lessons are present for you right now, and which parts of the story are asking for your attention. Learning the Fool's journey is the single most transformative thing you can do as a tarot student. It turns 22 cards into a living map of human experience, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. This channel is here to help you go deeper into every card, every symbol, and every layer of meaning that the tarot holds. Subscribe so you never miss a new video, and drop a comment below telling us which card on the Fool's journey feels most relevant to your life right now. We would love to know where you are on the path. Your journey is already underway.